head of department, our inaugural lecturer, Professor Olufeagba Samuel Olabode, members of the University Senate, academic and non-academic staff, students, friends, and distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. It is with deep gratitude to God, and I mean it, and a sense of fulfillment that I stand before you today to preside over the 39th inaugural lecture of this Federal University Lokoja. This occasion holds a special place in my heart, as it is the last inaugural lecture to be delivered under my administration as Vice Chancellor. Indeed, if you like, you may fittingly describe today's event as a valedictory inaugural lecture. Truly, my joy knows no bounds. When I became the Vice Chancellor, the university was already 10 years old. We only had 2 inaugural lectures, and today we're having 39. By calculation, sorry, I never passed maths in my life. By calculation, we have done 37 inaugural lecture. And if ASU had not gone on strike, whether we will have been talking about 50th inaugural lecture in the university now. So truly, my joy knows no bounds. When I assumed office as Vice Chancellor, I came with a clear vision, one of which was to strengthen and entrench a robust academic culture in the university. Very early in my tenure, I took stock of our academic tradition, and I was confronted with the reality that deeply concerned me. For the establishment of this university, only 2 inaugural lectures had been delivered. I considered that situation unacceptable. I said to myself, and indeed to the academic community, that we could not continue this way. Against this backdrop, I charge our professors to rise to their responsibilities. In doing so, I reminded them that the professorial rank comes with obligations to scholarship, to mentorship, and to the public dissemination of knowledge. Inaugural lecture is not merely a personal academic milestone. It's a statement of intellectual strength of the institution. Today, by the special grace of God, we are gathered for the 39th inaugural lecture. This is not by chance. It is firm resolve and collective commitment. I'm proud to say, without equivocation, that I'm leaving this university better than I met it. In this regard, I can boldly say, I came, I saw, and I conquered. Today, Federal University Lokoja is recognized as an academic, vibrant, and intellectual, active institution. This is a legacy I cherish deeply. And as a historian, let me also go briefly and say that when we assumed office, we only had 4 faculties. Some of us will say 3.5 faculties. As we say today, Federal University Lokoja has 17 faculties. courses that universities that are older than us are scared of introducing. We have done it. Today we have College of Medicine. Today we have engineering. We have law. We have agriculture. We have nursing. We have medical law. We have building. We have architecture. And I can continue. By the special grace of God, with the exception of University of Ibadan, that started medicine and never had problem in their first year, second year, I think we have joined the League of Universities that has K2 Medical and Dental Council accreditation in the first year. And I can openly declare that it is the grace of God. And like I used to say, the first speech I gave when I became the Vice Chancellor, I stood before everybody and I declare I'm a child of God. That has been responsible for this success we are seeing today. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, today's inaugural lecture will be delivered by Professor Olufeagba Samuel Olabode, a distinguished scholar in his field. The title of his lecture, Fish, Genetics, and Sustainable Agriculture, Pathway to Food Security and Blue Economy. It's not only timely, but also highly relevant to national development, food security, and sustainable economic growth. Sir, I congratulate you on attaining this important academic milestone and commend him for his contribution to scholarship and knowledge advancement. And I would also like to repeat that one of our traditions when we became Vice Chancellor was to attract best brains from different universities to Federal University. They have done well. Done well. Professor Moleyi, please stand up. Professor Aito, please stand up. The next person, please stand up. They have done well. 37 inaugural lecture. We have always been fighting, struggling, but sometimes they bear my erratic behavior sometimes. I want to thank you for, and please, if anywhere I've offended you, forgive me. This is my last. Please have your seat. Yes. I said I want to place on record my deep appreciation to the inaugural lecture committee and all those who have consistently worked behind the scene to make sure that every inaugural lecture delivered during my administration was successful. I appeal to you to sustain this level of support and cooperation for the incoming administration as the progress of this university remains a collective responsibility. I also warmly, thank you please, I also warmly appreciate our esteemed guests and friends of the university. Our all-time guests, you can see the military officers here. They have never missed any of our inaugural lecture. We call them, they come here. I appreciate them. Seriously speaking, if I have the opportunity to write to Jagaban, I will write that the military officers in Kogi, they are different from their other, their ideological and their philosophical officers. As I prepare to hand over the baton, I wish to encourage the incoming Vice Chancellor. Do not let the tempo down. Federal University Lokoja has earned a reputation for being institutionally active and academically alive. I was in one inaugural lecture. They were boasting that since they established their university, they have done 30 inaugural lecture. The university is older than Federal University Lokoja, I think, more than 10 years. And they said they are celebrating their 30. And I said that if at your age you are celebrating 30, Lokoja at this age, we are celebrating 39 of our lecture. It was a mistake they made. And believe me, they didn't like what I said. I said the incoming Vice Chancellor must be supported to build up upon it and even take it to even greater heights. In my language, Yoruba land, we always pray that your child should be greater than you. I pray it will be greater than me. And I say it with all sincerity. And I say what I wish you, I wish myself too. In conclusion, I wish to deeply appreciate all our professors who have delivered inaugural lectures, those who are preparing to do so, and the Senate for standing behind this vision chapter in the academic history of this great institution. May God Almighty continue to bless this Federal University Lokoja. Thank you all for listening, and God bless you.
Telling him earlier in the day that he must not get emotional on us. We're not ready to clean any face. Yeah, so it's time to know who our inaugural lecturer is. Who is Professor Olufeagba? It's my pleasure to invite you, sir. Please stand here. And remain standing while the Vice Chancellor tells us who you really are. Mr. Vice Chancellor, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. Who is this Olufeagba? Samuel Olabode Olufeagba FFS, FDSN, MWAS, MAAS. Fellow Fishery Society of Nigeria, Fellow Genetic Society of Nigeria. Early life and educational background. Professor Olabode Olufeagba was born on 3rd of April 1967 in a town they call United Kingdom of Ikinrade. I'm from Ikinrade, and that's why I say I'm the Jumu local government area of Kogi State. He began his formal education at the Jumu local government primary school and proceeded to Baptist High School in Ikinrade, where he completed his secondary education with distinction. His passion for science and agriculture led him to the University of Ilorin, where he obtained his bachelor's degree in 1989. That 1989 was when I started my career as assistant lecturer in University of Ilorin. So some of us have become ancestors. He further pursued advanced training in fishery by earning a master's degree in fishery management from University of Ibadan between 1991 and 1992. In his quest for academic excellence, he returned to the University of Ilorin for doctoral studies and successfully completed and defended his PhD in fishery genetics in the year 2000. Academic and professional career. Commenced his academic and research technology in Buza, Niger State. Through diligence, scholarship, and commitment to excellence, he rose steadily through the academic ranks and attained the position of chief lecturer in 2002. He later transferred his services to National Institute for Freshwater Fishery Research, NIFFR, New Buza, where he served as chief research officer and head of biotechnology program as a pioneer researcher in fishery biotechnology, particularly in fish breeding and genetics, with a focus on, please forgive me, Heterobranchus longiphilis and Aerocomis niloticus. Please, another round of applause for me. It's not easy. Research excellence and international exposure. Professor Olufeagba research profile is marked by strong international collaboration and innovation. He initiated and sustained research partnership with Robert H. Smith, Faculty of Agriculture, Hebrew University of Jerusalem, Israel, one of the best universities in the world. And the university has won more Nobel Prize than any university in the world. And the Center for Molecular and Cellular Biology, Hyderabad, India. He served as a postdoctoral fellow in both institutions. His leadership in this collaboration culminated in successful production of transgenic Aerocomis niloticus, a landmark achievement that significantly advanced fishery biotechnology research in Nigeria and beyond. And conferences, including programs on biotechnology and climate change adaptation in genetic resources and intellectual property upright in Uppsala, Sweden. He went to good school, sir. Yeah. Uppsala is, yeah. I applied there several times before I got it after my 10 times. Bangkok, Thailand, 2013. University Service and Leadership. In 2013, Professor Olufeagba joined Federal University Agriculture Makurdi, now Joseph Saswan Taka University Makurdi, as a senior lecturer. His administrative competence and academic depth earned him appointment as head biotechnology and animal health Institute of Food Security in 2019. In 2023, he became head of Department of Fishery and Agriculture. He's currently a professor and is the acting dean of Faculty of Agriculture, Federal University Lokoja. Where I continue to provide visionary leadership in teaching, research, and academic administration, professional service, and national contribution. Professor Olufeagba has made immense contribution to professional bodies and national development. In recognition of his outstanding contribution to fish production and international service, he was awarded the Professional Merit Award by the Fisheries Society of Nigeria in 2005. He has served on the National Technical Subcommittee on Naming, Registration, and Release of Fish Strains and has held key leadership positions in the Biotechnology Society of Nigeria, including Assistant National Secretary General and National Secretary General. He has also served as an external examiner to several tertiary institutions, a team member and a leader of National University Commission Accreditation Committee, and a board member in various professional capacity. Mentorship and publication and scholarly impact. A committed mentor, an academic leader, Professor Olufeagba has examined numerous doctoral candidates and has jointly supervised and produced 7 PhD graduates, 2 of whom are now professors. He has also supervised several master's degree, undergraduate students, and diploma holders. He has published extensively in reputable local and international peer-reviewed journals, contributed chapters to scholarly books, and delivered numerous academic and professional papers within and outside Nigeria. Personal life. Professor Samuel Olabode Olufeagba is happily married and blessed with children. He is widely respected for his integrity. I can confirm that. His humility, his dedication to scholarship, and unwavering commitment to the advancement of science and education. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, it is therefore with great honor and administration I present to you all the 39th Inaugural Lecturer, Professor Samuel Olabode Olufeagba. A distinguished scholar, accomplished administrator, dedicated mentor, and an exemplary ambassador of Nigerian science. Thank you.
The Vice Chancellor, sir. Deputy Vice Chancellors, the Registrar, Bursar, the university librarian, provost, College of Health Sciences, deans of faculties, directors, heads of departments, distinguished professors, and members of Senate, members of the university community and colleges, my lords, spiritual and temporal, esteemed guests, friends, and well-wishers, great FUL students, men of the Fourth Estate, ladies and gentlemen. It is with high sense of humility and gratitude to God that I stand before you today to present the 39th and inaugural lecture series of this great university. I'm sincerely grateful to the Vice Chancellor who approved the presentation, especially at the twilight of his administration. Definitely the Lord has helped you in your work in this university. The lecture is very important to me. Number one, it is the last inaugural lecture during your tenure, and also the first inaugural lecture of the Faculty of Agriculture. You became pregnant of the Faculty of Agriculture. You carried the pregnancy of the Faculty of Agriculture. I started my career from the Federal College of Freshwater Fisheries Technology in Bursar, where I lectured for 10 years. And eventually, I was seconded to the National Institute for Freshwater Fisheries to head the biotechnology unit. After spending 10 years in NIFRI, eventually I transferred my service to the Federal University of Agriculture. Now, Sawantaka University, Makurdi. As a senior lecturer, I spent 3 years and was promoted to the rank of associate professor by Professor Engineer Kucha in 2016. And after 3 years, I was promoted to the rank of a full professor by Professor Kimby. We fondly refer to him as the talk and do Vice Chancellor. As a full professor, I served for 9 years in Makurdi before coming to Federal University, Lokoja here. And prior to the time of my coming fully, I spent 2 years as a visiting lecturer to the university. And for those 2 years, I was testing the ground to be sure this is a good place to stay. I want to confess openly that when you have opportunity to work with Professor Akinwumi, you will not have any reason to leave him. His team are perfect. His team are unique. His team are excellent. His team are warm. His teams are inviting. Vice Chancellor, sir, getting to the zenith of one's career is a consolation. The journey is usually not smooth and is often characterized with uncertainties, a lot of doubts, a lot of challenges. Knowing that one has reached the zenith is an emotional compensation for the hardship endured along the way. And it tells one's effort is not wasted and the perseverance had meaning. Furthermore, this position attained provide a sense of self-acceptance. Vice Chancellor, sir. The focus of my presentation is principally on fish breeding and genetic improvement. I've decided to choose this title, Fish Genetics and Sustainable Aquaculture, Pathway to security and blue economy, the Faculty of Agriculture. And agriculture involves the practice of growing plants and raising animals. The closest discipline to the origin of man is agriculture. Agriculture first started in the Fertile Crescent, a region of creation. In Nigeria, like many parts of Africa, agriculture started thousands of years ago through a slow transition from animal domestication. Agriculture involves the industrial processing and livestock rearing. The Holy Writ is very, very specific about the place of agriculture. And if you don't mind, and you look with me, not now, in Genesis chapter 13 from verse 2 to 12. There you see Abraham, who, not from money from other things, but from money, wealth, livestock, gain from agriculture. In fact, his cousin Lot, who was going and with him, each, that the two of them could not stay in the same village. And Abraham went his own way, and Lot and his brother also another way. When we are talking about livestock or fisheries, retains the center point. It's a source of wealth. And Nigeria is so blessed with so much land and the different weather conditions which are suitable for the production of different fish species I will be showing you. I chose this topic to enable me to explain to the university the important role that fisheries and aquaculture can play in the socio-economic development of our country, Nigeria. I need to put on record that as of today, we have about 12.5 million hectares of land that we can easily convert into production of fish. And the quantity and the quantum of fish that will be coming is not something Nigerian, Africa can consume alone. And that will take me to the issue of blue economy and how far we can go, the level we can attain, the width of wealth Nigeria can gather through fish production. Nigeria is blessed with not only good land, but we are also blessed with so much water resources. I will discuss briefly about fish. I'm going to talk also about agriculture. And this is because I'm from the Faculty of Agric, and the Faculty of Agric that just started last year with about 200 students. This year again, we will have about another 200 students. And that tells you, sir, as you are leaving us, you need to sleep well. That the child you gave birth to, the last child, Faculty of Agric, is growing well. And by the time you become a minister, probably Minister of Education and Agriculture, and you come to visit us, you will see that the tree you planted has grown big. Quickly, because of time, I want to talk about fish. And there's a short drama. Caleb, are you on? That I want us to see. Okay, it's not. And it's talking about fish. And to enable us to know that there is quite a lot we can enjoy when we go into fish production. The Vice Chancellor, sir, there is a Chinese philosophy that says, give a man fish and he will eat fish for a day. Teach him to fish and he will eat fish for a lifetime. Mr. Chancellor, please permit me to add my own to it. that when you teach him to produce, you will eat fish for all generations. I am here this evening to make you a discipler of fisheries. And as we learn fish together tonight, like the registrar said, we will live here not only feeding ourselves, but feeding the generations that are coming after us. This lecture will emphasize sustainable fish production. Take note. As a pathway to long-term food security and advancement of the blue economy. Mr. Vice Chancellor, in 1992, I was in Nimbusa. And when you get to Nimbusa, there is a roundabout at the entrance of the town. Every Monday, Friday, you will see truck loaded. And what are they doing? They are looking for fish. And they will go to the rivers and to the lakes to look for fish. Most of the time, they don't get. I was with the late Professor Dr. Aluko, FC Okoye, Dr. Sisi Madu. And we started popularizing fisheries. We started popularizing fisheries. Today, fish out to various places. And I don't know some of the fish they are now. This is possible. We have seen it happen. We have been part of the people that did it. And we are still alive. And we can do it here. Application of genetic knowledge. Strengthen breathing. Quickly take you to the Holy Writ again. And you look at the example of Laban and Jacob. Laban was working for his father-in-law. And it was like, what are you going to give me? The father-in-law said, I will give you this type of goat, this type of cow, this type of livestock. And young Jacob will put his finger, his thinking cap on, applying genetics. And all the progenies that will be coming will be the one that the father-in-law promised him. The father-in-law will come and say, Jacob, what have you done? All these are the colors I promised to give you. And Jacob will look at his father. Is the blessing of, I won't give you red. So you can see it there. I will give you blue and green. Jacob will put on the genetics thinking cap again. And look at the one with the genotype of the gene and the recessive characters. And he will go back to his lab. And all the progenies and the livestock that will be coming are the one the father promised him again. And the father-in-law will be annoyed. What have you done again? You are here. I'm going to teach you how to get wet through fish. And we are going to use genetics. Not only that, we need to understand that when we are talking about fish, I know we have different backgrounds. Just give me 1 minute to talk about fish. The anatomy of fish. They move with fins. They swim with their caudal fin. You can see there. They have scales that normally will cover their body. They have mucus on their skin that will allow them to move freely inside water. They have gills with which they absorb the soft oxygen from water. Different types of species of fish. We have the one we call claria, the Oreochromis niloticus, the one my VC was trying to pronounce and he couldn't. The patch There's different types. I'm not competing with my VC. I'm only helping him. There are different types of fish species. We have some of them with mouth. We have some without mouth. For example, the jawless one example is Promizon marinus. The second one is what we call Sanda luciopeca. Now, this is another species of fish that is also good. And somebody somewhere is saying, where is the fish that swallowed Jonah? I have not seen that one. But I guess it's also there when you get to the sea. You can raise fish different ways. Wherever you find yourself. In Nimbusa, if you don't raise behind your house, you raise it inside your courtyard. If you don't raise it inside your courtyard, you go to the back of your house, the front of your house, the side of your house, anywhere, and you raise fish. In tanks, where you have good soil that can retain water, you can have what we call earthen ponds. And in earthen ponds, you can raise as much as 5 kg per meter square. That's a lot. That will take care of you and your family. Peradventure, where you are living, there is no soil that can retain water. You can produce fish in concrete tanks. Get some blocks, lay it, seal it, put water, and you raise your fish. Inside this time, you can produce as much as 20 kg per meter square. Here you produce for yourself, your family, and you can make some money. I remember when I was in Nimbusa, and I was hungry for money as a young man. And I bought a tassel because I got some money from fish. And some people went to report me to the pastor that because I made money from fish. So what I'm saying is that whichever area you are, you can always produce what? Fish. Not only for yourself. And then you can now, that's why we are talking about sustainable aquaculture. If you cannot produce your pond, you cannot construct your concrete tanks, you can have what we call nylon tanks. And just a round tanks like that, and you put it in your veranda, depending on the size of your veranda. And this method, you can produce as much as 30 kg per meter cube. That's a lot. Apart from this, you can also produce fish if you are living in a place where there is light, and you in what we call water recirculatory system. This is one of the best methods of fish production anywhere in the world. But you need light 24/7. In this place, you can produce about 100 kg of fish per meter cube. So what am I talking here? Whichever level you are, whichever capacity you are, you have ability, you have opportunity of producing what? Fish. There are 2 types of where you can get fish. We have what we call the capture fisheries, and we have the culture fisheries. The capture fisheries is when you take your net and you just go to the river. Good as it seems, but you are not sure you will get the fish when you go there. It's unpredictable. It's a resource for everyone. The other method of fish production is what we call the aquaculture. That one involves farming of fish and other aquatic organisms, shellfish, aquatic plants. And this you can do it anywhere, depending on your ability and your resources. It is predictable. You want to marry next year, and they're asking you to bring 1 million naira. You can decide to culture your fish, know the number of fish. By the time you are selling it, you have your 1 million naira, and you do what you want to do. Aquaculture is predictable. You know what is we are putting in, and you know what you are bringing out. Ladies and gentlemen, fish production is not something that is limited to Nigeria. It's global, it's everywhere. And when you are talking about the global fish production, It is as much as 223.2 million tons. The aquaculture is supplying 130, and the capture fishery supplying 92. When you look at Africa, Africa is giving about 6 to 7% of global production. In Africa, we produce about 30.1 million tons of fish. Unfortunately, most of the fish we produce, we eat, we consume, rather than exporting to make money. Nigeria produce, and in our production annually, 760,000 from culture fisheries. The deficit, about 2 million tons, is for aquaculture. Our students in university to key into, and on the screen there. If you look at line 10 of that table, you will discover that the total source of fish from captured water in the year 1990 was 88.9. 2019, we had 90.3. But that's not all, sir. What I want you to now look at is line 14. When we are talking about the total source capture from aquaculture, and you will discover that in 1919, we had 21.8. And if you look at that line, you will notice a consistent increment in the culture fisheries. And that should give everybody a job. Because what it means is that there is job for our undergraduates. There is fish to produce, and there is money to make. When we are talking about fish production, again, if you look at the next table, you will discover that many countries have, we are missing it in Nigeria. We are concentrating only on aquaculture behind the house, aquaculture in front of the house. Excellent, beautiful. But the water we have, the river Niger, the river Benue, countries like China, they have exploited the waters by, here you don't need to pay for water. Here you don't need to pay for filtration. All you need is you put your fish will grow, and then you harvest after feeding. A lot of good things about fish. Number one, fish is a very good. Apart from that, fish is from omega-3 oil that helps you in the treatment of your heart problem. And this is what you cannot get in anywhere. Fish is here and there. Apart from the beauty and health, many today are dying of heart attack. How I wish they know that the solution to their problem is in eating fish. Because a man that is eating fish, that's problem. Apart from the oil and all the stuff, fish is also a good source of hide and skin. Many people don't know this. When you are talking about leather bags, costly bags, bed, they can be produced from the flesh of fish. When you have wounds, you can easily take care of the wounds by covering it with the skin of fish. Fish is very, very good in control of insects. They are very useful in traditional medicine. You see a man that cannot produce, tell him to eat what we call malapterurus electricus. Immediately the body will come alive. There are so many, I will see come to some of these things later. And you can also use fish for maintenance of aquatic ecosystem. Mr. Vice Chancellor, sir, my area of specialization is fish breeding and genetics. And you will quickly permit me to spend 2-3 minutes to talk about induced breeding of fish. What is breeding? Breeding is simply a way of producing your fish in a regulated environment by applying hormones in a hatchery. Why do we need to do that? When you produce your fish in a hatchery under a controlled environment, they are free of diseases. They grow very well, and you can easily manage your fish. In producing fish, we use what we call we stimulate the pituitary gland through the administration of what we call the gonadotropin hormone, which will respond to gonadotropin releasing hormone that you apply to stimulate the fish to breed. The fish is not ready to breed. I'm not ready to produce. When you give that hormone, they move forward and they produce the fingernails. Different methods of producing fingernails. Number one, we have the natural method of breeding. This occurs only when the environment is conducive. There is rain, temperature about 29 degrees centigrade, there is food. The method of natural breeding is environmentally friendly. It is sustainable and safe. The major limitation, anyway, is that the number of fingernails you will get is not much. The second type of spawning is what we call the natural spawning without hormone treatment. Again, this one involves some level of environmental manipulation with the aid of aquatic plants and stones. The sexually mature brooster, usually you start one male with 2 females, and they spawn because the male will initiate courtship, and then the eggs will be released and fertilized by the male. And then the third type, which is the best, is the induced spawning with hormone treatment. Here it involves stimulation, and the female broodstock are released, and then allow it to stay for about 8 hours. You strip, you collect the testes, you fertilize, and then you incubate, and the egg will hatch. So unfortunately, you cannot see. Mr. Vice Chancellor, sir, after producing your fry, for the first 3 days, they don't eat anything. You only need to give them good water, aeration, and make sure no pollution. After 3 days, you give them zooplankton. They will hatch and they will do well. And after 2 weeks, they become, after 3-4 weeks, you start counting your millions. If you want to make $1 million, fisheries is the easiest business to do. However, there are things you must put in place to make sure that there's no problem. What is the rationale for applying genetic improvement of fish in the fish production? There is, you can see that wonderful graph there, picture there. It's showing the abundance of water in Lake Chad in the last about 40 years. The first one you see there in 1963 is showing Lake Chad full of water with a population of 7 million people and a harvest of 35,000 tons of fish. The second, 10 years after, Lake Chad, you can see it's shrinking, and it has reduced to a level that can only produce fish that will not be sufficient for the people living around. The story, you can see it continue to the year 2001. Why do we have this? It's as a result of the increase in human activities, herders' activities, impact of climate, excessive water withdrawal for irrigation, increase in population without increase in our fish production. So what do we have now? In the last graph, you have a population of 37 million people pursuing 68,000 tons of fish. That's why we are bringing genetics into fisheries. That rather than producing 1 kg from your carriers, you can produce 1.5 kg. That rather than spending 6, 7, 8 months to harvest your fish, with genetic improvement, you can harvest after 5 or 6 months so that you can have 2 cycles of production in a year. What is genetics? Genetics is a branch of biology that studies genes, hereditary, and how these things are transferred from here and there. I'm not going to waste time here, but I need to also let you know that genetics is so paramount in sustainable fish production. When you are talking about genetic improvement, it will enhance your productivity through fast start growth strains, improved survival, and better feed conversion. I'm still going to deal with all this. In chromosome manipulation and selective breeding, they improve the resistance of your fish to environmental stress, and your fish will not die. And you can do what we call restocking to improve your strain in natural waters. Chromosome is the biological vehicle through which characteristics are carried from one level to the other. The truth of the matter is that fish, because of external fertilization, has made it so readily available for manipulation to increase their growth. Quickly, I'm going to talk about hybridization as one of the genetic methods of improving fish. And I'm proud to associate myself with this research in NIFRI. When we had the National Agri Research Project funded by International World Bank, late Professor Aluko and my humble self, We were traveling, crossing this nation, getting jam plasm from Jos, from Maiduguri to Port Harcourt to Nisha, here and there. Thank God that time, we don't have bandits. Kidnappers were not there. So we will travel throughout the night and we were picking fish here and there. Let Dr. Aluko and my humble self, Bayo, Woru, about 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 research officers and technologies. We were crossing different clarias species from different regions and zones. And we are crossing them with heterobranchus from different ecological zones. Today, it's a thing of joy. When you walk into a farm, fish farm, and you ask them, what type of fish do you have? They say, oh, God, we have hybrid. You say, what type of hybrid? They say, oh, God, is hybrid between clarias and heterobranchus. And they don't know the man, the team behind the work. And when I see them, I say, why are you crossing clarias with heterobranchus? Why are you using male, not female? They cannot answer. And then we take delight, and then we lecture them again. And then you can tell them that the story of this research, the story of this breakthrough that was sponsored by the World Bank, reside in the man talking to you. And that is why, Mr. Vice Chancellor, sir, I am saying this faculty of Agric will take fisheries to the moon. And you will be proud. They are wonderful people from Landmark, we've had meetings, we have planned, the strategies are there. And rather than people bringing fish to Lokoja with buses, truck will be loading fish from Lokoja to other places. We are trusting God. He will help us and we will do it. Quickly, another method for genetic improvement. I won't waste time. Oh, PRO, thank you very much. My VC must hear something. The sex reversal. Now, there are some species of fish that naturally, they do well. If you are considering male and female, tilapia is one of them. And what we do is to now convert all the population of tilapia to male. And then they will give you better growth. How do you do all this? That is the next level I'm going to now. But before then, there is a term, a professor was asking me, what is blue economy? Blue economy is telling you about the abundant resources we have locked up in our rivers, in our oceans, and in our sea. Blue economy is telling you that we can sustainably produce fish from our rivers, from our ocean, on a sustainable yield level, that generation today will have enough fish to eat, and generation coming after us we also have. Fish breeding and genetics contribute to this blue economy by reducing the pressure on the wide fisheries. You saw the circular tanks and cages we are going to, place on our rivers. And when you put them there, you harvest your fish without necessarily over-exploiting. That graph you are seeing there, okay, it's not there, is showing you the exploitationable yield level where you maintain continuous exploitation of your fisheries even years after year. Sustainable aquaculture will reduce fish importation, will conserve foreign exchange, and strengthen the economy. But like I said, It's not something we just talk. We have to take steps. Teach the farmers how to construct the pond. Tell them, come and buy fingernails in our university. We have extension lecturers. We go there and teach them. And in another 7-8 years, if Christ tarries, Lokoja situation will change. What is the aim of the blue economy? Number one is to develop and adopt sustainable aquaculture system that will meet the growing aquatic food demand. To integrate aquaculture, not just by mouth, but into the regional and national development strategies. I was with the SSC, the secretary to the state government, and I invited her. She promised she won't be here, but she will send a representative. I don't know whether the representative is representative of the SSG. Okay, sir, you are welcome, sir. I was there. The invitation card. We are taught delivered a brand baby, and what he did was to employ enough staff that we take fisheries, aquaculture, and all crop protection, everything to the next level. We are there for you, sir. Invite us. Let's sit down. Let's plan it. Get information from Nimbusa. Get the list of the researchers that turn the situation around. And then we get started. And I'm assuring you, I know politics, after 2-3 years, they will change you. But I know you will leave a legacy behind. Blue economy is to promote sustainable fishing and marine resources management, and to ensure economic growth, job creation, food security, and economy. The Vice Chancellor, now I've gotten to the place where I'm going to tell the world what I have done. My contribution to fish breeding, genetics, and human capital development. There is no time, and I will be very brief. Mr. Vice Chancellor, my PhD will remain evergreen in my brain. Because in that world, we decided to, I studied the production of triploid induction in Heterobranchus longifilus. I started one in Nigeria working on chromosome engineering. I stand to be corrected. And let you the kill fish, a lie. No juju kill fish anywhere. We monitor and we produce sterile Heterobranchus by longifilus. How did I do it? Number one, after injecting and doing all the basic breeding, eggs were cold shock at 5 degrees after fertilization. And we confirm successful triploidization through the counting of the chromosome. That's the best way you can confirm successful triploidization all over the world. Triploid showed better growth than the non-sterile ones. And what we discovered when we raise them is what you see in the next slide there. My supervisor will always tell me, just look at if the triploid are bigger than the diploid, what confirmation do you need again? By the right-hand side, that is the triploid. By the left-hand side, that's the diploid. And this work we did about Olufeagba 1999, Olufeagba Aluko 2000, and Olufeagba Aluko also 2002. And all we did at that time, we look at how do we produce fish that you can stock in Kanji Lake, that you can stock in your river, and there will be no germplasm contracting themselves. In America today, you cannot take any fish there except it's a triploid fish. The reason produce with the fish in the water. And that's why they will allow you to come in, but not diploid carp. And so we produce the triploid Heterobranchus longifilus, And if you look at figure 7 there, that is the figure following it. You see the bar showing the triploid, and you can see the consistent growth and improvement in the weight of triploid. Wait a minute. That increase in weight will only become significant when the fish attains sexual maturity. In first, second to third month, they will still be growing at the same level. But immediately you get to 6 months, when sexual maturity is attained, the triploid will grow better, where the diploid will be diverting energy into egg production. Mr. Chancellor, sir, how do you confirm this? It's not your choice that you are producing something. Again, it is through the diploid metaphase chromosome. And you can see clearly the chromosome there. When you see something like this, it's a day to drink malt. It's elaborous. It can take days before you do it. In figure 9, Mr. Vice Chancellor, sir, you see there the TS of the diagram A by your right-hand side, left-hand side, is the testis of the diploid, and it's showing mature spermatocyte in the lumen and the testis. I've been warned not to go too scientific. I was told people will just switch off from me. So I'm not going to be too scientific now. So by the right-hand side there, you can see the lumen of the triploid completely and totally sterile. To cut the story short, what you see there is that the triploid is growing bigger than the diploid because the triploid does not have gonads. In table 4, my Vice Chancellor, sir, what I'm showing there is the weight and measurement of the triploid and diploid. Quickly, I go to number 2, the karyotype research. That's another wonderful area of study. And that you do to study the character, the nomenclature of your fish. There was a case of a colleague. I'm sure he's online now, hearing me. He traveled for over 2 days traveling to come and buy some species of fish. Unfortunately, because of misunderstanding of the structure, he bought a wrong species. For 2 days traveling on the way. So when we are talking about identification, it's very, very important and very, very central to our work. In karyotype, look at table 5. It's showing the totality of the chromosome, the characteristic of the chromosome of Heterobranchus. And in figure 10, we have the karyogram constructed by Olufeagba Motosho in 2000, showing the characteristics of Heterobranchus longifilis. Now I'm getting to number 3, and the story is getting better. Here, Olufeagba Aluko and Aluko 1998. We did a work to look at the embryogenesis of Heterobranchus longifilis. These are information that are not available. And if you look at figure 11, you will see Olufeagba 1999, Olufeagba and Luko 1998 producing the embryogenetic chronology of Heterobranchus longifilis. This information alone will take you days to harvest, but most importantly is the key to genetic manipulation of Heterobranchus longifilis. My Vice Chancellor, I want to quickly run to the 4th groups of research work. That is the transgenic tilapia research. For the transgenic tilapia research, I'm sure we have heard, we have seen, we have read in books, on television, and people will tell you GMO is not good, GMO is killing. I was in India for several months to produce transgenic tilapia. Thank God for CCMB. After that, I went to Israel, and we spent another 1 year, and we produced transgenic tilapia. Thank you if you are clapping. But the sad story, as I was landing in Nigeria, the DG, people started, are you sure you have come with transgenic tilapia? They were planning to arrest me. That is not the way to scale up research. And unfortunately also, we don't have the facility. Transgenic tilapia, we have the knowledge, we have the ability, but we need resources. If you look at the next figure there, figure 13, it's showing you the principle, the procedure of how to produce transgenic tilapia. And you have the needle. And inside that needle, you have the beta actin, you have the GLP. It's like a trailer that you are carrying. The trailer is carrying load. There is a driver driving, and there is a trailer back. So you have the promoter driving the good. You know, you look at cow. Why are they growing so big? It's because of the growth hormone. You look at pig, very big. Why are they growing like that? It's because of the growth hormone. So what we do in biotechnology, we now remove the growth hormone and we insert it in fish. And the fish will now grow very big. Look at the next slide. That is figure 14. And it's showing transgenic tilapia. And you can see the glowing coloration there, showing you the growth promoter already inserted in that fish. If you look at the next figure 15, you see the confirmation of the integration of the GA using specific primer to isolate it there. I know I also have a mixed congregation. Somebody somewhere may be a good biotechnologist. I want to know. And so, eventually, this is where we have gotten our research. We were able to buy some equipment in Nimbusa. We got some grants, but the work has stopped. But this is the time to wake up again. And we will produce transgenic tilapia. We will produce transgenic clarias. We will produce transgenic heterobranchus. They have no negative impact on us. When we eat it, our buyers, we also do all, we also eat it. Mr. Vice Chancellor, sir, I want to quickly talk about the 5th research work that I used to do. And this is very, very important, PRO. I know you are coming here. And what we have done is to develop alternative feed using housefly to produce maggots that we use in feeding our fish. I've tried it since I came here. And we have a group, Alamba, Professor Solomon is here, Obande, Olufeagba, Taguba, 2024. And we have discovered that 75% replacement of fish meal with maggot meal gave the best growth and feed conversion efficiency. What are we looking for again? Mr. Vice Chancellor, we are going, already we have 2 nutritionists. One young man there, Caleb, that you have recruited. There's another nutritionist. And the first thing we want to do is to see how we harvest this maggot, develop it, patent it, and begin to sell it in the Nigerian market. And that will be great. Number 2, we are also looking at alternative feed research, alternative meal, if human beings were eating soya beans, human beings were eating granite cake. And at the same time, fish people are eating it. Fish people want it. Things will be so expensive. Nobody will eat maggot of housefly. And that is where we are going, because the maggot has enough protein that we use. Mr. Vice Chancellor, sir, my time is running out, and PRO is just itching to come to me. But I need to say quickly that if you look at table 6, this is very, very important. You discover that the growth and feed performance parameter of the different maggot meal is so wonderful. And when we use it to feed our fry, the fry will grow, and after 1 week or so, we start to feed them with other feed. Number 6 research, Mr. Vice Chancellor, sir, is the tilapia hybridization and molecular research. The best tilapia research work is the gift tilapia. And what they did was to come to Ghana, they collected our tilapia, another place here and there. And today, we are importing those tilapia back to our continent. That's good, no problem. But I'm glad to inform you, sir, that we have also started our own tilapia hybridization and molecular research program. We have imported fish from Swazi. And we have fish local here that we are using to cross the fish from Swazi. And I'm glad to also say I came here in May for full-time transfer of service. And within 2-3 months, the good management in this university extended the arm of third fund allocation to me to start a research work. I have been in a place for 10 years. And you cannot access it. And this is why I'm saying that the warm relationship and the spirit and the culture here will definitely take this university to the moon. Presently now, the research work is going on there. Hopefully by March or April, we should be able to tell the world how far we have gone about the work. The tilapia hybridization was midwife by Boyi and Olufeagba in 2014. Boyi, Olufeagba, Okomoda, Obande Abdullahi, Ataguba, Oyaje Chekula, and Abba Mufdafi in 2021. If you look at figure 17, we have shown also clearly the differentiation between our fish that we have as a nation, that they are not just the same. Many people will just look at one tilapia, say this is tilapia, this is tilapia, this is tilapia. No. And that is why when you see people culturing, let's say my fish is not growing, my fish, you say which fish did you stock? You say we stock no, you are stocking. And that is what you can see on that figure. The same fish, the same, you see them differentiating here and there. Mr. Vice Chancellor, sir, my time is running out. I want to quickly talk about one type of research, sir, that we need to develop in Nigeria, which is aquaponic research. Look at it there. Please show it. The PRO is coming. That combines aquaculture and hydroponics in a close research and plant. You don't need to go to farm that Fulani will come and kill you. No. You do your farming behind your house. Fish in one section. And this what was midwife. You will discover, number one, that the fish produced in aquaponics, they were bigger, longer than the fish in the pond and in the water recirculatory system. So, why do we need to go and spend millions constructing WRS if I can construct simple aquaponics? The result obtained showed that the production of fish in aquaponics system was 29% and 75% more efficient than recirculatory and static aquaculture system, respectively. I think we need to clap for this work. And I'm so we are looking at how we are going to advertise, commercialize, tell the world about this work. Aquaponics structure is constructed and used for the study, and there you can see Olabode, and you can see him there, Okomoda, Olufeagba, Solomon, and the other research officer. PRO, let me tell you something. When you look at figure 21, that is the next figure there, you will discover the weight of Clarias garipinus raised in aquaponics bigger than the one raised in the tanks. Not only that, PRO, the length of the Clarias garipinus raised in the aquaponics bigger, longer than the one raised in your pond. If you look at figure 23 there, you will discover that the leaf number of pumpkin propagated in the different systems is where you have watered farm. And if you look at figure 24 also, the leaves of pumpkin propagated in the different systems were better than those ones in the irrigated pond water. PRO, let me tell you something. You see, if you decide to grow something like ugu, for example, ugu, what do you harvest there? Is the leaf. And you go to my aquaponics. What the research is saying is that what you will get under your roof and your veranda there will be far more than the person risking his life to the farm to go and do ugu there. The aquaponics research is so important to me. When you look at figure 25 again, and what you see is pumpkin yield in the different system again. You know, Yoruba people say, or something like that. When you are sure of your medicine, you tell the world. PRO, it's unfortunate you are coming. But if you look at the first bar, what you see there is the pumpkin yield in aquaponics system. Look at the second bar there. Is the one from irrigated pond. And the third one there is the one from non-irrigated land. My Vice Chancellor, even though you have not believed what I'm saying, let me tell you this. The leaf number of pumpkin propagated in different substrates, when you are using different substrates, periwinkle and all this stuff, we got better result in the one where you have aquaponics system. And in the aquaponic research, leaf area of pumpkin propagated in the different substrate of an aquaponics system data are also were seen to be far better than the pumpkin outside there. Mr. Vice Chancellor, I'm not just making noise. I'm saying that if you look at figure 28, you are a historian, but I know you love data. And you look at figure 428, you will discover the number of branches of pumpkin propagated in different substrates of aquaponics system. Let me begin to round up about my aquaponics preaching. And I'm only going to bother you, sir, with one line. If you look at line 7, where you see the PA, you will discover that the water system in aquaponics was better than the water system in your pond. You know why? In the aquaponics system, we have opportunity of self-purification. The nitrate, the waste from the feed, it becomes the food for your plant. And the waste from the plant, it will become the food for your fish. Finally, is the unmade tilapia research. You know, all male tilapia, 20% bigger, higher than the the one you don't treat with hormone. And what you can see there by the right-hand side, that line, they are the same age with the other one this side. The only difference is that the one by this side, they are all male. The one by this side, they are normal, untreated tilapia. Somebody will say, but how can I eat this fish that they treat with hormone? Usually the hormone we use just for 28 days. And then after 28 days, you stop it and you raise them for another 5 months. So all the traces of the MT17 is gone. I eat it. I've not died. I've not changed. Many all over the world, they also eat it. Mr. Vice Chancellor, sir, it's not that my mouth is sweet, but I also need to tell you there are a lot of other research that cannot include here because of I know PRO will be pursuing me. Talk about induced male gynogenesis in the African catfish. Talk about the gonadal development and growth performance of laboratory-induced triploid. Look at the characteristics of the flesh and cat, so many of them. I think I've listed almost 30 or 17, and people can go and check. Mr. Vice Chancellor, sir, we've also been involved in capacity building and capital development. By the grace of God, I have successfully, I think, more than 122 undergraduates, masters, more than 32, PhD, more than 8. Some of them are already professors. In fact, Vice Chancellor, sir, one of them reviewed my paper as a professor. While I was still sitting down in the institute, he was in the university, growing. And what is the future of research direction that I have? Number one is that we want to see to the development of alternative fish fry diet in Nigeria. And I stand here, sir. When you come here as a minister, you will see the patent certificate of that work. We want to see how we will make fish production very cheap. We don't need to depend on importation of fry, artemia from overseas. We can do it. And we are not even going to use its maggot of housefly. Number two, we are also going to look at the consummation of the fish production through hybridization and tree product. I told you I imported fish from Swazi. They are there in my house. You cannot see the picture. And we are crossing it with and we have seen very important heterosis coming out from that work. Not only that, Mr. Vice Chancellor, I'm also sincerely looking at how we transform the Faculty of Agriculture, Federal University Lokoja, to a leading center for agricultural education, research, and innovation. We are going to drive sustainable system. We have the lecturers, we have the capacity, we have the knowledge, and we have the ability. Today, you may be living on, but I believe Professor Ebileye worked with you very well. And I know you have transferred your gene into his body. And I know when Professor Ebileye takes over from you, he's going to ride on your shoulder and he will see farther than you. We continue with this research. Apia doesn't need very expensive feed. The Labia doesn't need formulated little protein, which we are going to produce from maggot. We are not going to spend our money buying it. Faculty is to strengthen academic program, to strengthen research and quality of work, to also make sure that all our students, students of agriculture, nobody will live here and go and look for a job. They will live here, continuing with their work. Mr. Vice Chancellor, sir, I will not do well if you will not give me 1 minute to appreciate, to acknowledge, and greatly to be praised. Pray out of a round of song. Gratitude to the only wise God for grace, strength, and guidance throughout my career. for the divine favor throughout my academic, professional, and personal journey. To God alone be all the glory, honor, and majesty. I want to thank my spiritual fathers, Pastor W.F. Kumuyi and Mommy Esther Kumuyi. I want to thank my father here, Pastor and Mrs. J.B. Adefila. I appreciate your spiritual guidance and prayers for me for the preservation of life. To my parents, Deacon Olufeagba and Mrs. Felicia Olufeagba. My brother is also here, Abiodun Olufeagba. Where is he? My senior brother. I want to appreciate all the sacrifice and discipline, the passion for education. You know, my father in those days, our colleagues will be playing football. My father will say, "Oh, you go and read in the parlor." Probably if we have been playing football, we'll have been Maradona of today. But we thank God for what the Lord used him to do. I appreciate the sacrifice of my father. I want to thank all my spiritual mentor, Pastor Adeyemi, Victor, Piata, Agbemuko, Ocho, Alfred, Mrs. Emobito. I saw my sister in the afternoon. I also want to acknowledge the Vice Chancellor, Professor Olayemi. You cannot work with this man and not be attracted. He's a man that is using his position to do good. And my prayer is that as you go, the Lord will go with you, sir. I want to acknowledge all the deputy vice chancellor, the registrar mama of the university. I call the VC the governor of FUL. You know, they are so wonderful. They make you feel you are useful. They don't castigate you. They want to solve your problem. I want to thank all new staff of the Faculty of Agri, Professor Olufumelayo Alabi Olabatoke, Ijaya Benson, Tai Uluwagbemi, Mela Abdunamid, the faculty officer, Malam Ibrahim Yunusa, Sefia. I also want to thank all my lecturers from my formative state, Professor Yoloye, Oyewole, Fasuranti, Omotos, Ozelebe, and all. I also want to acknowledge all my teachers. Baptist High School, Kwasi Polytechnic, University of Ilorin, University of Ibadan. I want to thank all my staff in NIFRI. I want to thank all my chief executive, wonderful, Dr. Joe Ayeni Adeniji Ta, Professor B.M.B. Ladu, Dr. Aminu Raji. I thank all of them. And I want to say to all my students, you have done wonderfully well. My professional association, Fish Society of Nigeria, they gave me an international merit award when I made a breakthrough in chromosome engineering, and they gave me also another fellowship award at the time about 2-3 years ago. I also want to thank Genetic Society, Agricultural Society, Ghana Science. I want to thank my professional friend, Yerima James Ogbona, so many of them, Jilto Ezoba, Ekundayo. I also want to thank my international academic mentors. I want to thank my father at the time of my salvation, all the pastors that minister to me in DLCA. To the Institute of Journalism, I thank God for all my teacher, Pastor Yekomi, the students, they are all there, and to my extended family, relation, and community. I want to thank everyone. My in-law, Moses Lawa, Mrs. Anese Lawa, Mr. Shola Ogundele, Pastor Ibigba, me Clement, there are so many, and all my auntie, Ibitoye, and all the friends from Ikenria, and their relations, Shola Dare, PRO, if don't mention them, I will say you are the one. In faith fellowship that you are here in Francis, so many of them, they are here. I also want to acknowledge DSC, so fantastic. Our Pastor Piope, so wonderful young man. And so, we have a lot of brothers, Alatoye, Ibrahim, Taiwo, prayer and everything. Obaje, Caleb, David, I want to thank all my wife, who is also my wife and my mother. I want to thank my children. I want to thank my wife for her sacrifice and support during my academic journey. Like I said, thank God the kidnappers were not on the road those days. To my children, Mrs. Lawa Oluwafunmilayo, Moses Lawa, my son-in-law, Engineer Oluwasomido, Gideon Gift, Ore, I say thank you to everyone. And at this junction, I want to say thank you, thank you, thank you.
For the champions, stand up, stand up.
So this is you get when a deeper life pastor presents a lecture. The lecture was indeed very deep. So I'd like to thank you, Professor Olufeagba. I heard Olufeagba. Which one is correct, sir? But you mentioned Olufeagba or something. Okay, so Olufeagba, you did a great job. And I was beginning to wonder, all this transgender crisis we have in the world, I hope it didn't emanate from your lab. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, royal fathers present, Mr. Vice Chancellor, sir, it's again my pleasure to invite you to thank our wonderful audience. You've always been so kind to us, painstakingly and patiently listening to research output from our university. I want to place on record that nobody goes out from here poor ever again after listening to Professor Olufeagba. Vice Chancellor, sir.
Thank you, Director. Please, another round of applause, please, 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 please. I think I want to start on a lighter mood. You know, social media, it has its advantages and disadvantages. Recently, I read something on the social media. This professor came up and was preaching, giving a lecture about the importance of polygamy. You understand that polygamy is good, this and this and this. So a lady just raised up her hand, and the lady said, Madam Professor, I don't know that you're a good woman like this, that this is an opportunity to tell you that I've been married to your husband and we have twins. The professor collapsed. So by the time the professor woke up in the hospital, it was this same woman that was with the professor. The woman now told the professor that, Madam Professor, the fact that you are professor does not mean you should be saying what you don't know. You should have said what you know. I'm not married to your husband. We don't have twins. I just want to confirm whether you know what you are saying. But this professor has said what he knows. That is what I'm trying to bring out. You know, there is a passage in the Bible. I think Paul just preached, and this traditional ruler said, you are trying to force us to be a Christian. I think Professor Olufeagba, what he has done today is he has tried to force us to all be fishers. I don't know, but we are living in a society now, especially those of us in Abuja, where to get a space is very difficult. But I think we should give it a thought. He has said he has professed today. And I want to make reference to what he said. When I first became the vice chancellor, I realized that there's no money anywhere. We started looking for money. Somebody now took me to the Speaker of House of Rep, the Speaker now, Deputy Speaker. You know, it's an Igbo man. We had the audience together. The man told me that you people in university, you are just wasting your time. He said, you are coming from Federal University, Lokoja. Lokoja is the confluence city in Nigeria. He said, if he had been given Lokoja to Andrew, he would have made a lot of money from there. He said, look at the river. Nothing is coming out from Lokoja. No fish again. And I remember when we were growing up, when you are traveling to Lokoja, people will tell you, buy fish. Buy. You cannot get any fish here again. You cannot get any fish there again. Well, I'm happy he came up with an idea that we can reinvent the wheel. We can make it sure that people will be coming here. Good days, you see trailer coming here, but no trailer is coming here again. The fish we are eating is a domesticated one. So I want to say that I'm really very happy today that we took the right decision to start Faculty of Agriculture. And I want to say that to whom much is given, much is expected. Much is expected. We now have in Faculty of Art, in fact, we have more lecturers now in Faculty of Agriculture than most of this faculty. And I hope with his leadership, you will not disappoint us. You have done well. And I always say that every time we have a lecture, it's always better than, yes. This has shown, you have demonstrated it. And for those of you who are not deeper live, those of you who have listened to Pastor W.F. Kumi preach, we see how he was just talking as if it was Pastor W.F. Kumi that was making his speech. Yeah, we thank God we brought him. In fact, before he was even released to us, somebody was trying to lie against him that he has some disciplinary action in. When I now approached the vice chancellor, you know, Nigeria, the way we think is very funny. He said, hey, is it because it's from Lokoja? I said, what are we saying? We are not saying ethnicity. We are not, you understand? We need this guy. We are just starting Faculty of Agriculture, and we expect him to come and assist us. And I also thank him for some of the things he said today. I just came back from China 2 days ago, and all their meal, fish. The way they treasure that something in China is alarming. They even come up to Nigeria to steal from our riverside to take to their country. You understand? And I think it's the next something for us to do, to go, that fishery. And it's now very expensive, very expensive. What we can do is now, the Faculty of Agric, you can do it in such a way that at least commoners like us will have access to it, to improve our intake, what do we call it, protein intake. We are looking up to you, and I thank God that I think Federal University Lokoja will take up that challenge. We will invite it. People will be coming to Lokoja to buy from us by special grace of God. I want to thank the following people. We have many visitors that are here. The CP, Nashiru Bello, Commissioner of Police, please, round of applause. Please, a round of applause for you. A round of applause for you. Round of applause for you. A gentleman to the core. It's a gentleman to the core. Somebody who is interested in the welfare and the security of this state. Since I became vice chancellor, I think it should be the 7th, the 10th, or the commissioner of police that will be posted there. But I'm happy the day I met him, I didn't know that he already heard about me, and I will talk as if we have been talking. For him to come here, other people have always been sending representatives here. For him to come here, sir, You deserve my respect, sir. Now, in academic, I say I doff my cap for you, sir. Thank you, sir. We have this my brother. We started together before he abandoned academic for politics. Dr. Olufeagba Obolari. We started together. He abandoned us. He's the commissioner for livestock development. There's no money in academics. That was why he abandoned us. Kábíyèsí ọba engineer Meduteni Olúyà of Yàrá Kingdom. Ẹlẹ́ta Olúyà sà. Kábíyèsí sà. Kádé pẹ́ lórí kí bàtà pẹ́ lẹ́sẹ̀ sà. Ẹlẹ́ sà. We have Chief Honore Jacob Ayépẹ́kù. Chief ẹlẹ́ sà. Ẹ káàbọ̀ sà. Ẹ ṣé sà. Chief Olisan Babalola Fábùnmi Ẹ̀sìn Àgbà Mose. Ẹ̀sìn máa gbà lèmi. Ẹ̀sìn máa gbà lèmi, but ìtọ́jú mo rí bíbá ẹ̀sìn. Ẹ ǹlẹ́ mà, ẹ ǹlẹ́ sà. I'm also ẹ̀sìn máa gbà wọ́n. Yeah. Olufeagba Peter Johnson. Olufeagba Gift daughter. Lara Olufunmilayo daughter. You are welcome. Olufeagba Vision. Son, you are welcome. You are Vision. Okay. Lawan Moses. Son-in-law, where are you? You have not paid my dowry to me. Adefila, my mother. I have introduced her. No need of introduction. But again, Mommy Adefila Esther. Thank you. My sister, have introduced her first time when she came here. Then our father, Pastor Adefila, we are appreciative, sir. Thank you, sir. We have the mother of the house, Olufeagba Grace. Mama, thank you, ma. Thank you, sir. Yeah. Major Tio Obonga, SO2 Admin and Logistics. You are welcome. Thank you. We have many people online that are online. There's one Professor Akinwumi. I thought I was the one. But when I saw Adekunle Ajasin University, how he was able to join many things together. And I think he deserves another kudos for that. So, for us here, once you give your inaugural lecture, we refer to you as a distinguished professor. He has given, he has spoken, and he has spoken well. And as a result, we discharge and acquit him. We are proud to display your professorship anywhere in the campus and outside the campus as a full professor of Federal University Lokoja. Congratulations. Thank you. Yes, sir. Please, may I invite the Commissioner of Police to please step forward, please, to assist us to do something, sir. Plus, you can come forward, sir. Mommy, you can join. Children can join.
The Vice Chancellor, the management of the university, on behalf of the university, Federal University Lokoja, I present to you Mr. Professor Olufeagba Samuel Olabode. This certificate is issued to you as a way of showing you appreciation as the 39th presenter in the university inaugural lecture series. On behalf of the Vice Chancellor, congratulations.
Thank you, sir. Step forward also, please.
You that is
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Yes, Pastor Defila, sir, please, sir. Yeah.
Bode was growing up, coming to us. We never thought for all that the Lord has done. And I want to appreciate the Vice Chancellor. He has really, the Lord will be with you. And he has prophesied also. He saw you as a Vice Chancellor here. He said, when next you are coming, you are not coming as a Vice Chancellor. You are coming as a I didn't hear what you said, though. You can imagine that. And this is a prophet. This is a prophet. And he has declared it. And we are all echoed it. That when next he will come, where you left Aquaculture for Greek is not where you are going to meet them. And the Lord will be with you. Tomorrow we are going to meet. So praise the Lord. I want to pray for this lecturer. Thank you very much. We are grateful unto you because you are good and wonderful. Thank you for what you have done. Thank you for the way you have done it. Eternal Father, we pray that what you have started in a little way will blossom. It will grow from grace to grace. And the power of the Lord will go with this man, and it will be mighty for you and for your glory in Jesus' name. He is associated with good people, and I pray it will not be otherwise. And as the Vice Chancellor will be leaving this university, we shall be hearing good of him, of his family. It shall be well with him. He will not be sick. He will not be weak. He will not be tired. And what he stood for here, because from the first day he came in here, he said he's a child of God. Father, I want to pray that testimony will remain. And for all who are here to child of God, I pray you will be that before it is too late. Thank you, Heavenly Father. In Jesus' name, we have prayed.
Thank you. Please, a round of applause.
All right, thank you very much. The inaugural lecturer has extended an invitation to all participants at this inaugural lecture. So you are welcome to dine with him tonight. Thank you very much. While I request most respectfully that this academic procession led by the Vice Chancellor rises, we will all rise to take the national anthem and the Federal University Lokoja anthem, one stanza. Please rise.
Drive and tongue may deliver in brother and good resolve to serve our sovereign mother.
The university anthem. The position is it alone. And I imagine that this would likely be the last time the Vice Chancellor of Somalia Aquaculture. I was considering because needs to be
Thank you.